Fade has been out for a little over a month now and has caused some debate among the community. The debate centering around her place in the meta and whether or not she's the best initiator now. Some believe Fade is overpowered and incredibly oppressive, and others think she can hold her own as an initiator, but is at her best when she's paired with another initiator like Sova and a damage dealing agent like Raze. So let's answer some burning questions the community has pondered over for the last few weeks. Is Fade the next best initiator? Will she kick Sova off his pedestal? Have you considered subscribing to the channel? These are very important questions you need to ask yourself. That aside, I'm chill and let's get into it. Let's start off by going over Fade's pick rate because I think that's a decent metric to see how much playtime the agent is getting. Results can be a bit skewed, especially when a new agent first comes out, since everyone wants to play them, but at this point with the season kind of settling, pick rates should be a bit more normalized. Following that, we'll review win rate compared to the other initiators to see if she's actually winning games after being picked. I'll be using Blitz since it's one of the better stat tools for Valorant and gives us more control over what we want to see. We're also going to look at the normal, unrated, and competitive game modes and leave out the others. Let's go through unrated first. Blitz has Fade coming in at number 6 with a 7.3% pick rate in unrated since the start of episode 4 act 3. Out of all the initiators, she ranks number 1. Sova comes in at number 8 with a pick rate of 5%. Now let's look at competitive, starting with Radiant. At the highest level of play, Fade was ranked number 7 with a 6.2% pick rate. She is actually lower than Sova, who has a 7.7% pick rate. As we make our way down the ranks, there is a bit of a shift that happens. In Diamond 2, Sova and Fade switch positions, with Fade at number 8 with a 5.8% pick rate and Sova at 10 with a 5.3% pick rate. Each rank below that actually has Fade above Sova. Fade's highest pick rates comes at 6.5% in Immortal 3. Her lowest pick rate is in Silver 1 at 5.5%. When I see this transition from higher ranked players picking Sova compared to lower ranked players, it tells me a couple things. High-ranked players are used to playing Sova or main him and can seemingly find a little more value out of his abilities compared to Fade. They've also had countless more hours on him as opposed to Fade, who came out just over a month ago. At lower ranks, it seems that Fade is being picked more because she's a fairly easier agent to use compared to Sova. She also requires a lot less know-how to just pick up the agent and play. This doesn't necessarily mean that Fade is a better agent, but she is certainly easier to grasp for more casual players. Now let's look at the win rate for Fade stacked up against the other initiators. In unrated, Fade comes in at number 7 out of all the agents with a win rate of 50.3%. She is first in win rate out of the initiators, with the next highest being Sky at number 9 with 49.7%. In competitive, things get a little bit more chaotic when it comes to win rate. This is due to the fact that the numbers of matches played at the higher ranks is very low compared to the lower ranks like Gold and Silver, where millions of games are played. In Radiant, Phoenix is the second highest for win rate but has the lowest amount of games played. So for the competitive win rate category, I'll show the average rate for high rank, mid rank, and low rank for each initiator. High will span from Radiant to Diamond 1, mid will be Plat 3 to Silver 1, and low rank will be Bronze 3 to Iron 1, just to make things a little bit more even. After doing the math that Blitz forced me to tediously go through, Fade came in first for all 3 rank categories. 50.7% win rate in high and mid ranks, and 49.9% in low ranks. Here's a list of where each initiator ranked in each category. Now that we have a general understanding of where she falls in competitive and unrated, let's look at the pro scene. Pro play is very different in terms of pick rate and overall stats, and for that, we'll use some recent stats coming from another Valorant YouTuber that goes by Thinking Man's Valorant. Link to his channel in the description. He did the numbers on the most recent Tier 1 Pro games and discovered something pretty interesting. 96 games were played with Fade, and she had an overall pick rate of 17.14%, paired with a win percentage of 54.17%. Pretty solid for a new agent, especially when she hasn't fully been mastered yet. When we look at Fade's best maps, she performed best on the maps where she was picked more often, which does make sense. The top 4 maps where she had above 50% win rate were Ascent, Haven, Bind, and Icebox. Haven took the top spot for win percentage, followed by Ascent, then Bind, and finally Icebox. I think these 4 maps had the most success for a number of reasons, but from what I can guess, it's probably due to the smaller maps with a lot of angles and areas of elevation that Fade's Haunt ability can utilize effectively. So to wrap this up, statistically, Fade does perform the best in the initiator category. So does this mean that Fade is the new champion? I think Fade excels on most maps that have tight choke points, areas of high elevation that Haunt can be utilized, and she has a high degree of ability combo potential with other agents. Sova does have a lot lot of similarities to Fade in the sense that they both offer a lot of valuable tools your team can play off of. They both allow your team to take space effectively. If you're someone who plays at a high rank like Radiant and Immortal and have experience on Sova, then stick with him if you're comfortable. If you're kind of new to ranked or you feel Sova deserves more dedication and practice, Fade will probably be the easier agent to learn. Sova will always have a high skill ceiling and can be more difficult to master, especially with the countless lineups you can learn. Fade does have lineups for Season Haunt, but they're pretty easy to find and way more forgiving to land where you want them. I think these agents can coexist for the top spot depending on your skill level, comfort with the agent, and playstyle. But what do you guys think? Do you think Fade has more room to take over, or is she right where she belongs? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. Remember to subscribe if you want more videos like this, and like the video if you enjoyed your stay. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.